Well, I have to say, I think that's possibly the most unusual track I've come across yet that uses the flute. I'm struggling to kind of... Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm a flute player from Hull, East Yorkshire in the UK, and it's time for another reaction from me. Now, just before we get to today's reaction, which has been sent in by one of you wonderful viewers, just like to fill you in on what else you can find on my channel. So I've got lots of covers of all sorts of music that I like to try out on my flute. There's interviews with some of my favourite creators, and I love to live stream. So at least once a week you'll find me here on YouTube live streaming to my wonderful community of music lovers who come along and join in the fun. So you're invited, and it's a very special time right now on the channel because I'm about to hit my 5th anniversary. 5 years of streaming. I can't really believe it. It doesn't feel like 5 years. It feels like 5 minutes, but I've loved every minute of it. So I'd love for you to be part of it too. So do come and check out the details on my channel page if you want to come along. So to today's reaction, which is to a band that I've never reacted to or indeed covered before, so I'm very excited to hear this. The track is called The Undercover Man, and the band are called Graaf Generator. Now, Graaf Generator, an English prog rock band formed in 1967 in Manchester by singer-songwriters Peter Hamill and Chris Judge Smith. They were the first act signed by Charisma Records. And according to Wikipedia, they did not experience much commercial success in the UK, but became popular in Italy during the 70s. In 2005, the band reformed and are still musically active today with a lineup of Hamill, organist Hugh Banton and drummer Guy Evans. So, a little bit about this track for you folks. This track is from the band's 5th album, which was released in October 1975, entitled God Bluff. It was the first album after the band had reformed in 1975 and was recorded after a European tour. Now, I just wanted to share this little quote about the album that I found. So this was from Melody Maker magazine. The reviewer said that in a very real sense, God Bluff is the sound of the mid-70s, uncomfortable, coherent, unremitting, courageous. Ooh. What a great selection of words we have there. Now, this track was sent in by at Custom House Years. So thank you so much for checking out the form below on the pinned comment and sending this in. Now, Custom House Years says that this track features David Jackson on flute and alto sax. He often plays 2 horns at once. So a la kind of Roland Kirk style. Also plays flutes and whistles. Now, he's worked with many musicians from Peter Gabriel to Keith Tippett, Ozana, Judge Smith, David Cross and others, and also has a liking to work with disabled people. So he's helped develop a technology known as Soundbeam, which enables them to make music and perform in public, which is just the most wonderful thing, isn't it? And another wonderful thing, definitely a Flutifull fact for you folks about David, he was born in Stamford in Lincolnshire. Now, I also hail from the wonderful county of Lincolnshire, so there we go. Now, Custom House Years goes on to say that this is my personal favourite band, not my favourite track, but one of the best featuring the flute. Peter Hamill, the band leader, is, in my humble opinion, the greatest modern songwriter, up there with the best classical composers. And they finish off by saying, I hope you enjoy, not guaranteed as the band are not considered an easy listen. Well, you've certainly piqued my interest with this, so I'm very, very excited. I hope you are too. Let's hear it. So, without further ado, here we go.
Here at the glass, all the usual problems ritual farce. You ask in uncertain voice what you should do, as if there were a choice but to carry on, miming the song and hope that it all works out right. Tonight, it all seems so strange. My spirit feels rigid, my body deranged. Still, that's only from one point of view, and we can't have illusion between me and you, my constant friend, ever close at hand. You are the undercover man. Of what it's all been about, except in the context of time. Oh, but I sure can't. I've half a mind not to work it all out. Is this madness just a recurring wave of total emotion? Yourself and would deny even this hand now stretching out towards you to help. But would I leave you in this moment of your trial? Is it my fault that the problem is you're really very lonely? These phantom figures all around you could have told you, or you should have found out by now, if you hadn't gone and tried to do it all by yourself.
we go. Well, I have to say, I think that's possibly the most unusual track I've come across yet that uses the flute. I'm struggling to kind of I don't know why I'm wanting to categorize it. I have a thing in music about genre. I don't really believe that genre is a thing. Although I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Or should be a thing, should I say? But with this, I'm a bit like, oh, it's so unusual. I'm trying to kind of place it, and I'm finding that tricky. But that's a good thing, I think. That's a good thing. So let's talk about it. The opening reminds me, and I don't know if anybody, let me know in the comments if you had this reaction to this opening as well. This pulsing, bam, bam, bam. It reminds me of another piece. There's another piece that starts with that pulsing. I can't remember what it is. I'm terrible at remembering names. I think it might be a Morricone piece. If somebody knows, please let me know. You'll know the one I'm thinking of, I'm sure. Anyway, the opening with the flute and the organ, we have that flute kind of texture, very much playing with the organ throughout the whole of the opening, throughout the whole basically of when the flute's playing. And I just love that there's a little bit of, I think he's using a tiny bit of singing and playing, but it's just kind of it's kind of just the air, that kind of thing going on, which is really cool. I love it when the flute is used in a percussive way. If you watch my channel, you know that I beatbox on the flute as well. So I have explored that a little bit, how the flute can be a percussive instrument, because of course it's known such as a melodic instrument. So that was really cool, really interesting opening. I thought it works really well with the vocal. What an unusual voice he has. Oh my gosh. And he goes from full sound to falsetto and kind of back again almost seamlessly, which is kind of really unusual. So I thought the way that David was playing the flute really, really works with the vocal, because he's not got I'm going to use the word cleanest, but I don't really mean cleanest. He's not got the most controlled sound, and again, I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just trying to describe the sound. It's not as fluid and as smooth as maybe a full kind of classical sound, but that's great. I think that works, like I say, really well with the vocal, because the vocal is very kind of, the word that's coming to mind again is rough. That's not the right word. It's not polished, and I think that's part of the appeal. So I think that's great. You can kind of tell, or I think I can anyway, that he's not primarily a flute player, he's primarily a sax player. And as soon as he picked up that soprano sax, I was like, there's a sound. Again, his sax sound is not completely fluid. It's got character, it's got edge, which I really like. But to me, the sound of the sax is a lot more comfortable for him in a way, although great finger work on the flute. We had some little florid passages which were really, really cool. So interesting, very unlike anything I've heard before, I think. So it's unique. It's really unique, the sound. I get what you mean about this not being an easy listen. I really wasn't taking in any of the song lyrics or this kind of the story behind it, because I was just so kind of thinking about the sound, which is very unusual. So it would take a few listens, I think, to kind of to get that. Again, I've said this on my reactions before. I really, really love hearing the flute played in these different ways. Most of it was taking place in the 70s, and I wasn't alive. So this is just such a journey for me to see people using this instrument in different ways, in different music, and just embracing a kind of performance that is very unlike what I was trained in as a classical player. You know, you're trained to make this certain sound in a certain way very precisely, and to just watch people exploring this wonderful instrument and making this sound and producing different music, different textures, and just enjoying it and embracing it is so captivating for me and liberating, and I hope you're finding it interesting too. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much for bringing this to my door, and let me know below, what are your thoughts? Do you know this track? If you do, maybe let's share a little bit more about it together. If like me, you're hearing this for the very first time, what's your reaction to it? What do you think? And yeah, there we go. Is it Flutifull? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that opening certainly is very different and very atmospheric. And I think having the flute kind of front and centre, of course, there's no guitar here, so the flute doesn't have to kind of compete with the guitar. It has its own space, and the sound in this live recording is excellent too. So, yeah, just from the point of view of making the flute a kind of lead instrument and giving it its space and going, look what it can do. Yes, this absolutely is Flutifull. Yes, right, awesome. So thank you for joining me for this reaction. Like I say, if you've enjoyed this, do check out the rest of my channel and subscribe. And I'd love to see you at a live stream very, very soon. So take care. Hope to see you soon. Stay Flutifull.